Hey, yo! Are we live? I think we're live, boys. Alright. Hold on, let me pull something up here. Okay, I'll pull up. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Just woke up a little bit ago. Alright. And I'm just chilling. I'm just doing some leveling. Thought I'd share with you guys. And I wanted to watch this video. So I figured we could watch it together. Hold on, let me pull it up. Right there. It's a stay safe video. It's which classic Wrath DPS takes the most skill. So he's going to talk about which class takes the most skill. I'm quite interested in what he has to say. I hope the stream captures the audio from that. I think. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. We'll see. Anyway.
What is up, guys? Stay safe here. So, just the other day, I got asked a very interesting question. Which DPS spec in Classic Wrath has the highest skill cap? And conversely, which DPS spec in Classic Wrath has the lowest skill cap? Now, this is a really hard question to answer, and I already know this will be a controversial video.
Highest skill cap, I'm gonna say Feral Druid. Because I watched a video on how to do their rotation, and it's insane. They have to, like, bear weave. They have to, like, swap in and out of bear form, right? Because some abilities are better in bear, or you only have some abilities in bear form. It's nuts, in my opinion. And it's not even that high damage, to be fully honest with you. So that's a little bit disappointing. Oh, my quest log's full. So that's a little bit disappointing to me. That, you know, it is like that. But, you know, it is what it is. You can't really do anything with that too much. So you guys just need to abandon some of these quests so that I have enough space in my quest log. Okay. I don't want to abandon the completed ones. Anyway. So yeah, I think Feral Druid is going to be #1. They are very tough to play, and there's a huge difference between a skilled Feral and a non-skilled Feral. Yeah, I would not want to play Feral Druid. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to level a Druid, because I thought, you know, it'd be cool, because you could have, a tank, and, they can do everything, but the melee DPS is just so, it's not very good, and two, it's just so difficult to play that I wouldn't want to do that, and you'd probably be asked to do it if you're tanking, right? Because if you're tanking, you might need to, do damage at something, because they might not need that many tanks. So you might be asked to just do some damage. And yeah, it sucks, in my opinion. There's a cult to arms in Warsong Gulch, huh? Nice. Actually, I might do that. I'd do a Warsong Gulch. Yeah. So yeah, it's just tough, being a DPS like that. Hold on, let me pull up. I'm pulling up a leveling guide for myself just so that I can see what the hell I'm supposed to be doing here. Wait, am I 64? No, I'm 63. Wait, I should still be in Zangar Marsh? Oh, I thought Zangar Marsh was... Wait. Oh, it's a 62 63 Zangar Marsh. Oh, okay, so you're still in Zangar Marsh. You're still supposed to... Oh, fudge. I just... Oh, man. Okay. Let's go back to Zangar Marsh then. That's fine. I guess. I don't know. Don't we want to go back to Zangar Marsh? I guess I can still do some of these quests. I just need to take them again. Ah, yeah, that was stupid of me. Okay, let's go to Zangar Marsh. Anyway, let's play the video.
Because no one wants to hear.
And the lowest skill I think is going to be either Arcane Mage or Rogue.
Low skill cap, but I think we can actually use some data taken from Warcraft logs to try to answer it in the best, most holistic way possible. Right now, there are just over 20 million DPS logs uploaded for the last couple weeks of Tier 7 content at the start of Wrath of the Lich King.
A lot of people.
Split up between 22 different DPS specs that we're going to take a look at today. Now, Warcraft Logs does something really cool in how it gives us this data as an aggregate. It gives us quartile-based performance metrics for every single DPS spec, which we can use to make comparative statements like the difference from Feral Druid's lower quartile to upper quartile is greater than the difference from the Ret Paladin's lower quartile to upper quartile.
Yeah, Ret Paladin also is
what this essentially means is that there's a
but you have a lot of utility which you should be using ideally.
For Feral Druids than there is for Red Paladins. Now, I use Feral Druid as an extreme in my example here, rather than Subtlety Rogue, because there's only around 2,000 Subtlety Rogue logs in total, which is around 0.01% of the logs we're referencing in total. So I'm not really comfortable taking Subtlety Rogues into consideration for this conversation. Sorry to all the Subtlety Rogues out there. Anyway, does a wider quartile range actually mean that one spec has a higher skill ceiling or higher skill cap than another spec? I would say pretty much yeah. If you are a god tier Feral Druid, you're the best Feral Druid in the world, you are performing leagues beyond a trash can Feral Druid. Whereas if you're a god tier Ret Paladin, you are much closer in performance to the trash can Ret Paladins down at the bottom. This just means that this spec is less accommodating and less rewarding of insane high skill gameplay, not necessarily that the players of this spec are all bad. This ranking also is in no way reflective of what spec does the most damage or has the highest DPS. Only what specs seem to have the highest skill ceiling or skill cap. So to throw some specs out there, I'd say that the top 3 DPS specs in regards to skill ceiling or skill cap are Feral Druid, Combat Rogue, and then Unholy Death Knight. Then, that the lowest 3 DPS
Combat Rogue? Hold on. Combat Rogue? Is it that difficult? Oh, whoops. I don't know. Is it?
So, to throw...
Hold on. 1 second. Give me a second. I'm here. Okay, let's go. There we are. Okay. Combat Rogue is difficult. I didn't think it was. I mean, I know... Yeah, the Combat Rogue is like... What? What does the Combat Rogue do? Huh.
Regards to skill ceiling or skill cap are Ret Paladin, Arms Warrior, and Elemental Shaman. Anyway, guys, give me your opinion on this, especially those of you that play multiple classes and multiple specs. Personally, I've played Feral Druid in the past, and I play Warlock now, and I'm 100% certain that Feral Druid is more difficult than Warlock. And you guys know that I have a Warlock bias. But make sure to drop a comment down below the video, like the video while you're down there, subscribe for more content if you enjoyed the video as well. Check the bio down there for all my links. Go find me on Twitch, drop a follow there. I appreciate it.
Is that it? Oh, that was a very quick video. Oh. Wow. I don't know why combat is so... Hold on, let me pull it up here. I should be showing this now, yeah. Why is... I always knew Rat was the most difficult to play in the game, and it's nice to see a video for guys. Okay, that's actually pretty fun. Feral isn't that hard. All you have to do is manage 4 timers that have different durations, have every single DPS boosting rate buff, get phenomenal proc rate on Omen, never get selected for an individual mechanic that forces loss of uptime, lacerate weave, mangle weave, snake weave, idle weave, gift weave, and trend weave, and never make a single mistake. Just do all this stuff and you'll easily best attacks and DPS. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be a feral right now. I would not want to be a feral right now. Damn. I would not. Yeah. Well, I'm main a warlock, so... You know. I'm having a good time. I'm having a very good time. Doing a lot of damage, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. And being necessary as a demonology warlock to provide the buff, so... Yay. Yeah, I don't know. The events and the further locks could also be because of their utility. Sometimes it may be more optimal to stop DPS and to do other stuff to help the raid. A lot of them often sort DPS encounters with mostly tanking gear, so it brings the average down, or at least that was the case in TBC. One thing this does not take into account is how much the class are affected by tryharding. For example, in Classic, a non-tryhard warrior with no world buffs will get creamed by a fully buffed tryhard mage. Still a difference, but not so much. The differences are not as extreme now probably, but still have an effect. Druid has always been a class that you have to go out of your way to make work. Yeah. What's this guy say? Keep in mind that one of the most important and often understood parts of the DPS variants we see is rate setup. How much support you are getting, how fast bosses are dying, and general coordination are huge factors here, which kind of explains the surprising amount of variation that some really low skill classes still show. I mean, there are a ton of other factors that go into the variance. Also remember, skill cap and DPS variation are 2 different things. Like, you might have a relatively skill class, but very few players are performing at that higher level. Sure, but then it would still show, right? Overall, I think that it would be difficult to argue that the classes with the highest skill cap aren't Feral, Enhance, Unholy, and Aflock. It's just interesting, the numbers do kind of still reflect that. I haven't played Enhance or Unholy or Feral, but I do play Aflock. And Aflock is actually quite fun for me. I think Aflock, yes, there is a high skill cap if you want to perform super well, but unlike some of these other classes, I mean, Unholy probably performs pretty well as well, but as an Aflock, like, even if you don't perform optimally, you'll still do a lot of damage. Is the thing. You'll still do a lot of damage. Because a lot of the... So how Aflock works, a lot of the top, like, DPS that you can do, a lot of the sort of things you can really mess around with, is snapshotting, right? which I personally don't love, but it's actually not horrible on Aflock. So the way it works is you don't really snapshot your dots, I don't think, or at least none of the guides really recommended that. The only thing you kind of snapshot is corruption because that rolls over. So you have a talent which basically your corruption is refreshed whenever you Shadow Bolt. Um, so basically you just put it up once at the start of the fight and then you never put it up again. Um, and so the idea there is that certain effects will sort of roll over or stay with the corruption as it kind of gets refreshed automatically, but certain effects won't. And so if you get any effect that won't roll over that makes your corruption do more damage, you want to reapply it, and so you want to know when that is, which is can be kind of difficult. So there's that. You also don't want to clip your dots, but you want to have them up as much as you can. So there's a bit of skill involved there, like knowing when to reapply them. There's a bit of skill there, and what else is there? Oh yeah, Drain Soul. Yeah, because in your execute you use Drain Soul, and the way you want to use Drain Soul is, so it's a channeled ability, right? But the damage it does is also, sorry guys, is also snapshotted at the beginning. So when you cast it, that's when it gets snapshotted. So if you cast it and you don't have any buffs, and it's like a 30-second challenge, something like that, or like 16 even. It's a pretty long channel, and then you would get your procs. Right? Let's say you get, because I know I have like 2 procs at least on just my character that proc spell power. So I have the one of the trinkets, the Emblem of Heroism trinket, and then I have the cloak enchant. Right, so those are 2 procs. They can proc for pretty high amount of spell power, right? Pretty high amount of spell power. So if you notice that those proc after you've done your Drain Soul, what you actually want to do is you want to clip your Drain Soul in a specific way, right? You want to clip it right after a tick of damage, and then start casting it again. And that way, that whole Drain Soul is going to have those buffs, right? That just procced. And so you're going to have them for the whole duration. Right? So those are things that you get into. Right? And then there's other things like if those buffs are about to run out, you can again clip your Drain Soul and then just have the whole Drain Soul channel be affected by that. By the spell power procs. So that's how you can increase your damage by a good amount. But the thing with Affliction, as opposed to these other classes, is it's so good right now, I think, that even if you don't do this stuff, you'll still be doing good damage. Like, you'll still be doing really nice damage. Even if you just keep up your dots. Like, I was doing okay damage, and I had not so great gear, and I didn't know exactly how to play. And I was just, not doing all those things I just talked about. I was clipping my dots and stuff, but I was still doing okay damage. And that's the thing, is that unlike like a Feral Druid, the difference is with a Affliction Lock, I think, right now, is you'll do good damage, and then if you do all these extra things, you'll do even better damage, right? Whereas with a Feral Druid, you won't do very good damage, and if you do all those extra things, you'll do pretty good damage, I guess. Right? But you still won't be as good. It's like the best Feral Druid will be probably close to an okay Athlete Lock. Or another thing you can do, right? If you're an Affliction Warlock, that's very simple. Let's go in that cave. Another thing you can do quite easily is Oh, I got some glyphs and some bags. Alright. Another thing you can do that's pretty easy, I would say. What's going on? Another thing you can do that's pretty easy, I would say. Which glyphs do I have? Glyph of charge, glyph of battle. Okay, there it is. What was I talking about? Let's see. Yeah. Another thing you can do. Sorry, another thing you can do is you can go demo. You can go demonology if you're a warlock, and you'll still do probably better damage actually. Because demonology warlocks on shorter fights are better. I think. Depends. Like demonology warlocks are great if they can get 2 metamorphosis in, which means if the fight is about 2:30, 2 minutes 30 seconds, that's around there. That's when demonology warlocks will be really good. Because if it's 2 minutes 30 seconds, right? Then for a minute of that, you do 20% extra damage. Right? So almost half the fight, you're doing extra damage, 20% extra damage. Plus, you have Immolation Aura, which is just passively, which is really good damage. So, yeah. Got a 4-minute shot now. Very nice. I would say that Warlock is actually a really good spot right now. If you're thinking of playing Wrath and you want a caster DPS, Warlock is a good choice. Definitely. Because you have 2 very viable specs. The only thing is you might be asked to play Demonology if the group or the guild doesn't have a Demonology Warlock. You might be asked to play Demonology. That's the only thing. So you want to learn both specs, basically, I think. Right? And it is a little bit more complex. So if you want something very simple, I'd say go Mage. Or at least simpler. Then you can just go Mage and have a good time with just spamming Arcane Blast. Yeah. So you can do that, and then you don't have to switch, you don't have to do anything, but you have some other responsibilities because you can kite. So, like in Nax on the dog guy, doggy boy, you're the one who has to kite the zombies. So that's something that you have to do. You know, I don't know how important that is to you, but what's that? Alright. Let's see. Are they here or is it a different level? No, they're here. Yeah. So mages in that way are not so bad. That they are simpler and there's no spec swapping. On the other hand, I would say personally the mages are a bit tougher to level than warlocks. I really like warlock leveling because warlocks have a lot of self-healing while leveling, so you can just kind of heal yourself and level up that way. So the leveling is actually very fun and sort of easy and good, right? As well, this is important. Ooh, okay, let's see if we can do this. What I'm gonna try here is gonna be interesting. We're gonna jump down, charge that, that, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, that actually worked out pretty well. Wow. Okay, nice. Didn't think that would work. Okay. That was pretty cool. Yeah. So Warlock's leveling is very easy because the way to level is you get Drain Life and you get Siphon Life, which now works a bit differently, but still it heals you quite a bit. So basically you just do that and you can take multiple mobs on and do stuff, and you get your pet if you need to, right? So you can probably solo like elite mobs and stuff quite easily, which mage can do probably as well, but you have to kite them, so there's I think a little bit more skill involved, whereas with a warlock just tank it and you have so much healing that you'll find most of the time. So either you tank it or you have a pet tank it, right? So it's just a bit simpler. But they're both good. You know, they're both fine. It just depends on which one you like better. Like me, I really like the Warlock and the Warlock Fantasy. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, because they're like super dark and shit. So I think they're pretty cool. But the mages are cool too. Right, the mages are cool too. I didn't really personally love their tier sets, the way some of their tier sets look. Like in Ulduar, their tier set isn't even a robe, which to me is ridiculous for a caster, but it is what it is. I think it's Ulduar. So that's something. But that's only if you care about that sort of thing. But yeah, other than that, mages are cool. You can do some pretty fun shit with mages. There are some interesting buffs in Northern. You can spell steal. Which I always found cool. Spell steal is a really cool ability. And yeah, you can have a lot of fun playing a mage for sure. But you can also have a lot of fun playing a warlock, and you have a lot of different utility. You know, mages have portals, which are awesome, but warlocks have a summoning portal, which isn't as useful as it once was because you have summoning stones everywhere. But actually, in Wrath Classic, for some reason, they put level restrictions on the summoning stones, which is ridiculous, but you know, it is what it is. So now you can't really use the low summoning stone, so if you need to summon someone to a location without a summoning stone or something like that, well, that's gonna be pretty good. Or if you need to summon someone inside of a dungeon or inside of a raid, that's always nice to be able to do that with a warlock. And you can give people health stones, and you have a soul stone, which is pretty cool actually. It can be used quite well, although a lot of people don't really use it, I think, or at least not much. Let's use this potion of water breathing. Let's dismount first, then use it. Blood rage, do that. Okay. Let's try and do this. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, but we're gonna get through it together. Yeah, that's fun. I like that. I do like Whirlwind, or Bladestorm. It is a very cool ability. So yeah, but that definitely Warlock is in a very good spot because all through the game it's very good, and you can sort of choose whether you want to play Demonology or Affliction. So you have two different play styles, which are similar but different enough, I think, where there's enough difference so that if you don't like one, you might like the other. Um, yeah, it's all about dot management, at least Affliction, and yeah, and that's things like even Demonology has a couple dots that you have to manage, so that's just the thing for Warlock. That's what Warlocks do, is they manage dots. And Metamorphosis is super cool. There's a bit of pet management, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal generally. The pet's just kind of gonna do its thing. Because of avoidance, so they don't take much damage from AoE attacks, so you don't really have to. Wow, these things are dying fast. You don't really have to, you know, care for it too much or anything like that. It'll mostly just do its thing, and you'll be good. Yeah. Wait, no. So yeah, I can definitely recommend Warlocks. It'll definitely, I think, won't be too difficult to get a raid spot as a Warlock. Because if they don't have a Warlock in like a 10-man, 25-mans, they're probably going to have at least one. But if it's like a 10-man and they don't have a Warlock, and you come in and you go like, hey, I'm Demonology, then that's really good for the raid, right? Or like the guild I'm with right now, I'm the only Warlock, if you can believe that, right now. So I'm pretty much, I think, you know, if they want to optimize their setup a little bit, this is a very casual guild, so they might not give a shit, but I'm pretty much guaranteed a raid spot in that sense. Because as a Demonology Warlock, you bring better DPS than a lot of other specs, than Warrior, for example, or, you know, Druid, or a lot of these specs just don't bring as much DPS. And you bring a huge buff for everyone in the raid, which buffs them by like, 300-400 spell power. If you know, at times 300 pretty much at all times. So it's just like a permanent 300 spell power for. And you gotta remember, it's not just for DPS. That's for your healers as well. So your healers are healing more. Your DPS are doing more damage. You're doing a good amount of damage. So there's really no reason not to take you, right? Yeah, you don't have that much utility other than that buff. Like you can do, like the spells or something like that, but. You can do like the spells and stuff like that. That's not something you could do, but I say you can summon people. That's really nice. You can give them health stones. Soul stone can be really useful. As Demonology, you can sort of tank a little bit on trash maybe or something like that. Not much, but a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. You're not a utility class. If you want more utility, well, it's not like Mage has that much utility either, but at least they can kite if that's necessary. You can't really do that. But yeah, you provide very good damage and a rebuff, so everybody's gonna want that. Everybody's gonna want that. Trust me, you're not gonna have too much of a problem getting into raids as a reasonably geared Warlock. The only problem is there might be a bunch of Warlocks, but like now in Extremis they're not as good because the fights are very quick. So demonology is actually outperforming. Well, I don't know if it's outperforming, but it's pretty high up with affliction. And there's other specs like rogues that are doing really really well. But the thing about affliction wise is really good execute. So I was watching videos and people were talking about. I haven't rated Ulduar, but apparently once you get to like progression and fights that actually last a bit longer and that you're longer in the execution phase, that's where Warlock really shines, and that's where you want multiple Warlocks, because when they're executing, their execute damage is the highest in the game, and the execute phase is very important on bosses and progression, right? Which makes sense, because you're getting the boss really low and you just need to get there to kill him, and the Warlock is the one that's going to give you the most damage in that phase, right? During that time, when you're trying to execute, that's when the Warlock just absolutely dominates, and so you can have multiples of them, and they stack well. Like there's no reason not to bring multiple, really, unless you're missing some sort of raid buff that, you know, like for example, like a shaman. It's not like a shaman. Well, the demonology Warlock kind of is, because you pretty much need one if you want to have a good time, but yeah. I was gonna say it's not like a shaman where you need at least one shaman in your raid, because otherwise you don't have bloodlust. Warlock doesn't really have. Well, demonology does. So affliction doesn't. So if you want to play affliction, you don't have any sort of raid buff or anything like that. So you're not necessary is the thing. Like you don't need an affliction Warlock. But in my opinion, generally, you're gonna want an affliction Warlock. Right? You're gonna want an affliction Warlock. So that's the thing about that. Is that they just do good damage. So there's no real reason not to take an affliction Warlock. If you just need DPS. You just need damage. And another thing is, there seems to be, probably depends on server to server, but there seems to be a lot of melee DPS. So a lot of times groups are looking for specifically ranged DPS. And in that case, a Warlock would be really nice. Because yeah, you just do a lot of damage. And as I said, demonology, you need at least one. Where are the controls? Oh, they're on the other side, and then... See, lab, yeah, first aid on a warrior is I didn't have it for a while, but it really is a must-have. Makes life so much easier. And it's super easy, even if you didn't level it at all. It's super cheap to get it leveled up. It's probably like 100 gold. No, I have no idea how much it would actually cost, but not. Oh, where's the quest item for this? It's a seed or package or pack plants. What the hell? Do I not have it? Oh no, here it is. Yeah. Cool. Oh. Let's get some rage. Boom, boom, boom. Die. And okay. Yeah. Like a warrior, for example, you're gonna have a bad time getting into groups. I'm leveling my warrior as an alt, so I don't really, if I have a hard time getting into groups, that's sort of fine for me because I already have a warlock that I raid on, and I can just try and get do some raids with my guild maybe where I like bring my warrior as my alt. just like when we're clearing stuff. Like right now in Nax, it's so easy. It doesn't really matter. You can bring a warrior, and it won't like handicap you severely or anything. But I think as we get into Old War and stuff gets a bit more complex, there's gonna be issues where people are gonna be playing, you know, warriors and classes like this or druids or whatever, and at some point they're gonna be like, well, I'm just not doing enough damage, you know, for this. And I don't know, maybe warriors actually, you know, they can do a lot of damage. Like I've seen a warrior do a lot of damage, but very geared defense. So this was like a super geared warrior, and yeah, he was doing good damage, but there was also a super geared mage, and the mage was doing like way more damage as a raid group. So yeah. Generally, you're not gonna see. What's that one? Idols of the, oh. Generally, I think you're not gonna see. Warriors on the top of the damage meters. If there's like a big gear discrepancy, or like a 4.5 or something, like a 4K gear score warrior who has like 2 betrayers of humanity and super geared, and like a, you know, like a 3.5K warlock or something like that, then yeah, the warrior is gonna do more damage. But if you have a really well geared warrior and a really well geared warlock, I'm pretty sure the warlock would do way more damage. It depends on the fight as well, of course, or something, but like, yeah. Generally, just the warlock's gonna be better. But the warrior can off tank, right? So that's what I'm doing with this guy, or what I want to do with this guy is I want to have him as a tank, and I can also DPS, of course. So if I need to DPS, you know, that's an option. And if I need to, let's try it. Actually, I tried it once, didn't go well. Let's try it again. Just fly in and try and kill it. Ah. Ooh, I might actually kill him. Oh, fuck. Wait, what? Oh no. Yeah, that was okay. Wait, but I might actually do that. Yeah, I think I can kill her. I just need to wait for Bladestorm again, because I can Bladestorm out of that. Right. And I have Stoneform. I haven't used Stoneform at all. Oh, actually, Stoneform is now a DPS cooldown. Huh. Because of Armor to the Teeth. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. Huh. Okay. So I can try again. Once that is up. Let's try and get some rage or something. Yeah, let's open this up. Let's do some of this. Yeah, what I have to do is I have to save Bladestorm for when she freezes me. And charge her. Oh, okay. I'll just fly up to her. Yeah, I can. to get maybe on that. There you go. Yes! Die, bitch. Alright, let's try the other one. Damn, that was cool. Yeah, I had to drink a potion, but that was good. We did it. What's this? Volatile healing potion? I have 5 of those, damn. Oh man, use up this one. Yeah, we killed her. Now let's try the other guy. That one might be a bit more difficult. I didn't even use still. Yeah, but the other guy might be a little bit more difficult because he's not a caster. So we'll see. Let's actually eat some chewy taffy for the hit. So that we can hit more. And then we need some G-nerds for the defense rating. As well. Okay, that's almost up. All the other cooldowns are good. Yeah, I'm sure if I used all my options, then I would be doing a lot more damage. But let's see if I can just get these guys to handle. First aid. Still have to eat a little bit. I think that's fine. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just fucking kill him. Hi. Yes. We didn't even have to use a potion there. Wow. Yeah, this is easy. This is bandage and get the fuck out of here. What are we gonna do next? I'm thinking we go there, 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 there. Sort of complicated, but let's do it. And maybe let's just get to Fallen Idols while we're at it. Yep. It's gonna make it very simple. Yeah. I'm sure I could be doing a more optimized route or whatever, but yeah, it's gonna be ours. Can't be bothered. It's too difficult. Wait, what? Oh, right. Sorry about that. Trying to do something else there, but that's cool. Anyway, let's see. Oh, that's cool. My thingy works. Track treasure. Or find treasure. Yeah. That was a cool thing, and they ruined it. Or, well, ruined it. They made it different with archaeology. It actually probably makes more sense with archaeology, but... Oh, there's chests here. go. Oh my god, dude. I'm doing so much damage. What's going on? Yeah, they're inside of these huts. I want to kill that in there. Fuck you. I'm not gonna wait. While you fucking murder me. Yeah, these chests, but they're locked. I'm not a warlock. What do I look like? A big beefy warrior. Hard. Yeah. No, yeah, the main reason I'm leveling him is just to tank with. Because I like it. I realize I really like warrior tanking. And I want to play a warrior tank. So, I'm just, and I'm more or less done on my warlock. Like, I could farm gold, definitely, and do my professions. Those are two things I could definitely do. But as far as power level goes, there's not much that I can do. Like, I can't get anything more from... That's the thing, is like, as soon as you get all your heroic pieces and all your pieces from Emblems of Heroism, there's really nothing else that you can get from... Oh yeah, let me actually go to her. There's really nothing else that you can get from running heroics, right? Because you have all your heroism gear, you have all your heroic gear. The only thing you can get is like more heroes, more emblems to get heirlooms and stuff, right? Yeah, if I could get it, well, not before the next reset, but like during next week. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to 80 during next week. I still have a long way to go. Yeah, I don't think so. If the 50% buff was still on until 70, then yeah, maybe, but nah, I'm not seeing that happening. Let's go collect him. Alright, there we go. Give me another quest. Oh, let's just do it. Yeah. So I'm probably not gonna be able to get it during this reset, but the next reset. Right? So like not next week, week after that. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. The week after that, I could probably make it to 80. The other thing is that if I want to be any use in, let's see, let's get this third guy. If I want to be any use in like raids, if I'm gonna invite it to any raids, I need to get some gear first. So probably, yeah. We'll see. Well, I could definitely do VOA without any gear and maybe get a spot for OS 25, but yeah, because sometimes they do like no Drake runs or one Drake runs or something like that. I could probably get a spot in one of those. Yeah, or as a tank even, maybe even a 3 Drake run if I... Because, yeah, I tanked that with not such great gear and it was fine. You just need enough, yeah, defense. The defense cap's gonna be a bit of a bitch to get to, I think. Because I do need to... I'm pretty sure you do need to be defense cap, because otherwise they'll just one-shot you. If he crits you. So yeah, that's gonna be, I think, the biggest like hurdle as a tank is to get to 540 defense. Beyond that, you're just getting better and better. But again, these raids are not so hard that you would need to be like on your best, you know, behavior. They're really not the hardest thing in the world. I mean, I've only tanked Sartharian. I haven't tanked many raids at all, but that's just my opinion. It seems, EOE seems a bit more difficult than the other ones, to be honest, but not by much, and it's mostly because you're in a fucking vehicle for the ladder after the fight. I've usually not had issues in EOE. Other than when doing the Drake face. Honestly. Yeah. Oh my god, why is he always dead? Alright, let's do controls. Steam pump overseer. Yeah, I think I'll go offline, guys, in a bit. I have a lasagna I need to make. It's an instant lasagna. Don't tell anyone. I know how to make a lasagna, by the way, like from scratch. I know how to do it. I just haven't. For a while, actually. I should probably cook. My girl's getting back on Monday. I should cook for her. I could make a lasagna for her, because they have gluten-free lasagna. I could try that, and I'm pretty sure, like, it would just get lost in sauce. Yeah, I can make a lasagna. And I can make that a day ahead. I can make that tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, just assemble it. Make the sauce and stuff. I could even make the sauce today. Just need to buy stuff, but you don't even need that many things. You need carrots and what do you need? You need carrots. I don't put celery in, so you need carrots, wine, some spices. Probably have those. Meat, tomatoes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I can put those in the oven. Okay. I'll see you guys later then. Bye bye.